Get everything rolling. Now let's just take a look at the news of the day. All types of big news that we got going on here. So let's scroll to the bottom. Obviously, a lot of things going on with the Queen, which is interesting.
Yeah. At least it was like a peaceful death, like natural causes, not anything tragic.
Oh, okay, yeah. Just old age. Is what you're
Yeah.
trying to say.
Yeah.
All right. Now,
In
what I'm
home.
more concerned about is like what happens. We're obviously in a crazy situation where we're dealing with recessions, we're dealing with all these things, and now you're dealing with a changing of the guard. How good is Charles, right? Let's see here. So let's get down to the bottom and see, and we'll work our way up here. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff over there going on that's interesting. Obviously in the crypto world, a lot of people are thinking, what's going to happen on the crypto side? How is the dollar going to react? Obviously, with the dollar surging,
That's gonna relate to the death of her.
you're bringing. I mean, when you lose someone who kind of controls everything, right? And you're bringing in Charles. Charles is an alcoholic. Charles hasn't ran anything in his entire life.
Was Charles Princess Diana's man or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you're ushering in error with somebody we haven't seen run anything his entire life. So it's just an interesting moment there. But let's take a look at what's going on here. So, like here, Prince Harry wears military uniform for royal visual. I mean, that's popping off.
I mean, they're not wasting any time. Really.
No, they're moving pretty quickly here. Obviously, you're excited about the NBA.
Yes, I'm very excited for it to come back. And for the Bulls.
Now, the whole thing is right now we're entering a moment where we have everybody's pretty much focused on the Bears in Chicago and football. But there are a lot of. Is it hard for basketball fans to come over to football?
I mean, I feel like right now the Bulls have something, at least, I mean, because I watched the Bulls last season and I was very excited with the players and how they were playing. So I feel like hopefully this season they keep up the same type of like team. I felt like they were really a team, like they had a lot of just chemistry. But I don't know, I'm excited to see how it will translate to this year. But I don't know, I'm not really into the Bears. They haven't really struck me as a team that can really have that type of team chemistry. I don't know. But I mean, this season might be different because they have like new players.
The Bears. To the moon, baby. What up, man? Question is BlockFi Visa worth getting into? G Day from good day from down under. What's up, Woofy? Obviously, we're rocking right now. We have our TikTok going on there. You know, most people right now are setting on their financial sides. They're really thinking to themselves, like getting into cryptos and stocks and kind of everything that's moving. So what I've been looking into is kind of like the movement of the money, right? So as we're kind of strolling through here, we're noticing like we have USC fights in Vegas. I'd be interested to see like how many people are actually buying those. Are the bars packed out like they normally are with that? I mean, that's something I haven't looked into, just to see how the economy is moving, right? Just to kind of like, is there stuff going on out there, right? Because the recession that we're kind of seeing or we're already in, like you've noticed gas has gone down $2 or $3, right? So we're in a good situation with $2 or $3 right there. And I haven't seen, obviously concerts are back, right?
Yeah, I mean, the restrictions on COVID are getting more lenient.
I haven't heard too much. That's what I'm saying. Like kind of strolling through here, so like I'm just kind of like seeing what's going on in the news to gather quickly as far as like what we have here. Like police union president calls out David Brown for something, decision on cheeky charge. So obviously in Chicago and stuff like that, you're gonna have a lot of things going on. Here you go. People making six figures are shopping at dollar stores, right? So this is an interesting. Here you go. Here where. Are we in that time frame where we have to kind of watch what's going on? So people making six figures, right? 100,000. Now back in the day, you could get yourself in a situation where $100,000 is, I mean, that was pretty good money considering that
it was you made it money basically.
Yeah, I mean, if you really break it down and get to the point where it's like. I mean, if you think about it, a mortgage, right? Mortgage side, everything that you have on there. Most mortgages are $900, $1,200 in a $300,000 house. So, at the end of the day, normally if you're making a six figures, you're bringing in at least $8,000 to $10,000 a month.
Yeah.
Right? Which means your mortgage is only taking 25% of what you have with your bills and everything in there, right? So that leaves a lot of extra cash to cover cars and stuff like that. So you should be able to stack away at least 50 grand a year, because the average American averages about, I think that a household, when they put it down together, was about $50,000. So if you're six figures, you're already by yourself. You've got it all handled. You've got twice as much as anybody else out there. So now you got them where they're making. Here's a dollar store making some moves here. People are shopping at dollar stores. Here's what they're buying, right? So inflation. Now see, right out the gate, we're getting inflation at a 4-decade high, right? American wallets are being hit hard. And this is important if you're out there like and what is this open discussion live? Yeah, man, open discussion. We're gonna go crypto. We're gonna go through all the news that's going on out there to kind of like see what's popping. Because at the end of the day, I think a lot of times, anytime that you have trades or trading. I like crypto. I like the ability to have where crypto is going to build into assets and things that we can invest in. But crypto is very young. Like we have NFTs, we have all these things that are happening, but it's going to take time, money, and effort to build the crypto society. And the realization is we're not in a situation where, we're sitting at a normal type, how much XLP and XRP to buy, so XLM. I mean, I like them both, but we're gonna have to see what they're coming up with and what they're gonna do. But like as a state of whole, like I don't know right now how much buying and holding you can really do as a consumer, considering that we haven't even seen these first 6 months of a recession, pullback and what's going to happen, and we still have to wait after elections, right? So I mean, do you feel like obviously in the election time, just kind of basing off your couple years where you've kind of seen in college here and there, like do young people notice elections? Do they even care, or what's the
I think, I mean, with Twitter and more social media, I think it opens the platform for younger people to talk about it and to see what's going on.
Younger people, that's what goes on. I mean, that's it. They just.
No, but I mean, it just depends.
I mean, so I feel like sometimes, do you know who AOC is?
Yeah.
You know AOC in New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I always wonder, so she has this tremendous, is it Twitter? Is that what you
Yeah, she has a big following.
Right, so
especially with younger people, yeah.
now, have you ever listened to her?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, so my whole thing is that, you know, she has all this big following. It's about a year and a half ago, and I was like, so she was getting a lot of news. And, you know, to me, it was kind of like, when she talked, I was like, I realized she didn't really know, she didn't know anything. Like, I kind of felt like...
I think younger people really like how she talks, though. Like, she talks with a lot of confidence. People like to hear people that sound confident.
See, that makes sense. See, now what you're talking about is like, I'm trying to figure out where she's growing, and it makes sense that she's only growing because people are like, you know what, I like the way you talk. So it's kind of like supporting someone for doing whatever they're doing.
And I
so
think people really support her background and where she came from, and, you know, she had to work hard to be in the position where she is now.
I mean, I don't know how hard she had to work to get there, because she pretty much ran on the back of, I'm a minority and I'm a woman. You should vote for me. So, I mean, I don't think she really put in work to get where she's at, because she doesn't have any skills when it comes to actually understand what she's talking about. But it's interesting to kind of get that feedback to where how people, you know...
Well, I don't want to speak, like, for all young people, but that's just, like, my personal...
Yeah, but that's just how you think right out the gate. Like, I like how you speak. You're doing your job. You're working hard. You know, here's a like. Right? And I think a lot of people do that. Like, a lot of people are just going through life going, hey, man, you're working hard. You know, because, you know, people should support people. But that's kind of like, that's an interesting thing to kind of like take it in that state. And Exodus. So I'm going to do a video on Exodus. Hold on that, man. I'm gonna cover that Exodus for the casinos and the hotels, stuff like that. I got to do a little bit of a video thing, because I got to get it put in where you guys are actually getting credit. I got to go over it. So watch out for a video in the next couple of days. I'm going to put that back up to see where we're at with that. But hang on 1 second before that actually moves on, because I think they're making some adjustments. So, you know, for kind of like going into crypto, what I'm watching for crypto is I'm looking, just like anything trades, anything that makes money, I'm looking for where do retail investors come in, because more than ever in the stock exchange, there are companies, hedge funds, you know, they have a lot of money invested in stocks and companies, so they will pump it and move it to a level that, you know, they make their money, because that's how they make their money. It is all about how it looks, not how smart it is.
I mean, yeah,
would love an IQ test. Yeah.
But I think it's also like a psychology thing. Like, people are more inclined to listen to people if they sound like they know what they're doing, even though they might not have knowledge or any background on what they're saying. But people tune in more to how things are being said, sometimes more than what is actually being said.
Agreed.
So.
You know, and I'm a big fan of the IQ test. You know, I kind of like that entire IQ test thing, because, you know, I think like it just puts a standard where, you know, if you're going to do something, right? And it's really hard in politics, because, you know, sometimes you want people to go in there and just change it up, and you're just hoping for new ideals. And, you know, I think it's a very open platform that gets manipulated a lot, right? And, you know, and in the coming years, I would like to see more people actually get in there and that have backgrounds of some type of business and make decisions that are more, you know, driven on a purpose, kind of like running a company. Like, people get in there who wants to run a company. The problem is, you know, a lot of people, it's just an interesting field right now, with social media being part of, you know, the politics and everything that's going on out there. But, you know, for me, I'm watching all that happen, because, you know, to me, it all comes down to, you know, investments and where we're going to make money in the future. Yeah, so, you know, obviously here, she looks familiar to people because she's kind of resembles Joanne Gaines. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting, like, moment there. If you want to, you can hop on your TikTok and then log into the thing, and you can respond. Um,
Uh,
you know what I'm talking about?
like through my account.
Yeah, just go into the follow the Venture Capitalist Live and you can respond. And at the end of the day, you know, I'm open to it. I just wish that we would, we had more people, making, I guess, like some of these decisions are pretty simple. I mean, I think we're in a real bad economic situation because we just have really bad people who don't understand economics. So, as people, I think the people have to wake up and get a little better. I just feel like in America, there's so many ways to make money, and there's so many opportunities coming that you need a charge. I got you right here. That there's especially with all this new technology and things that are happening. I just think there's a lot of opportunity, but I just feel like at the end of the day we're getting to where we need better things to happen, a little more just better ideals in there. I think we need to do better on that side, man. But taking a look at the economics and the what's happening to money. This is what I'm talking about in crypto, right? Is crypto, as everyone looks to, what's happening in crypto, when should I buy? Is Bitcoin going to bounce up? Is it time for Ethereum? And I just, what I'm looking for is kind of like what's in the news as far as like money, right? So here we have where people with six figures, and six-figure income is not that much for, the average American. Most average American homes only have $50,000. So speaking at a retail conference on the 7th, the chain's been attracting shoppers with yearly incomes of 100,000 in the recent weeks. The highest trade-in that they've seen is the most robust has actually been between 75,000 and $100,000 group. So what they're saying is that so they put this on CNN, adding that some of these wealthier customers first shopped at Dollar General earlier in the pandemic and now are returning. So it's interesting because they first went in there, and maybe that's just marketing. Maybe they went in there and they're looking for, dollar wipes because you can't find it anywhere. And then they realized that they had all types of stuff that is a dollar. I mean, I love a Dollar Tree. Sometimes you can't beat the bags. You can't beat like buying like birthday bags and little things. And they have like, there's trinkets in there, especially if you work on a garden. They have a ton of things for your garden. So I could see like people seeing that, but it's kind of interesting here. So a full 90% of Americans say they are concerned about food prices. Now, see, that's the one thing I don't do is I go to Dollar Tree, and you notice how they got in the back, they had freezers, right? And that was something that I kind of was like, I will buy Amazon tea, and I like the 99-cent cans.
Wait, Arizona?
Arizona tea, yeah, Arizona tea. So I like Arizona tea, and the Arizona tea is kind of like I went in there and I was like, yeah, they had the big, jugs of it, and it's like I'll take that. But I seen people buying like cartloads of those TV dinners. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I was a kid, you could go into any shopping market and get $1. They're like meals for $1, and they kind of disappear because now they're $2. Hungry Man's $2.50. But I've seen a lot of people inside the Dollar Tree buying these foods, and I was thinking to myself, like, man, how can the Dollar Tree do it for $1, but Walmart can't?
I mean, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if I trust that food to that level.
Yeah.
You see, I don't know. Maybe this is just me. But what they're saying here is that, they're seeing that 90% of Americans are concerned about food prices. And, with gas coming down and everything like that, that's going to be a little better for everybody. The dollar stores are seeing more high-income shoppers, which the survey describes that people with income greater than 80 can in the store. So it's an interesting moment of what they're looking for. So it's inflation is still out there, and that's just something that we have to kind of be aware of. So that's an interesting thing right there. But on the other hand, as you stroll through, another thing that I'm looking at that's kind of concerning me is that, I mean, maybe it's just because I live in Chicago. So when you're in Chicago, you spend a lot of time, like, there's always there's a lot of crime, right? There's definitely a lot of crime in Chicago. So this is where, kind of going through this it's very interesting. Um, as you're starting to see more crime. I mean, I'm watching,
You think?
home invasions.
I mean, but do you think there's more crime now than it has been before?
I mean, I would have to say so, or are they just? I mean, why would they cover it more? Because the media will kind of keep out that type stuff, but I'm seeing a ton of it on social media. Like the other day, I was watching a home invasion where two guys came into a house. They took the old lady because she answered the door. They just walked her in, told her husband to get off the chair, off the couch. They're like 70 years old. They put him in a closet, shut the door, took all their stuff, and then left. You know what I'm saying? Didn't harm them, didn't hurt them, but they're 70 years old. I mean, they're not going to fight back. It's not going to be anything too crazy. It's just a simple like it's just a home invasion, right? And I'm starting to see that pick up everywhere. Yeah, and this is another thing, like they're mentioning, like, on TikTok here that, what do you think about the T4? They're all here, illegally and have nothing to lose. Yeah, I mean, there's, I wish I could say that there was, I think at this moment in time, there are busing in a lot of immigrants all over the country. Obviously, from Texas, they're kind of sharing them with everyone. But I'm not seeing, like, I'm seeing some crime from them, but I wouldn't say that everything that I'm seeing is immigrants. You know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing like normal people. I'm seeing Americans do crime. Like in Chicago, unfortunately, it's a lot of African Americans doing crime right now. But that's kind of like a normal Chicago thing, right? It's not like a bunch of Latinos who just got here from Mexico or whatever, who's ever crossing is picking up the slack. You know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing a lot of crime that is kind of what I would say in the areas that they're happening. I feel like the people doing it are from that area. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't feel like the immigrants are causing extra, but that's just the beginning of like what happens when they need something, right? Where are we going to be in 6 months? That's kind of what I'm saying is as we're going through like just strolling through these news articles here, right? Like what's going to happen when it gets tough for all them. So it's kind of an interesting state. Like, do you notice that at all? I mean, obviously, from my point of view and from people like, we get a lot of things where, people, let's say 30-year-old people and above have seen different waves of economic before, right? I know of 2008. Like, I remember when all the restaurants were, losing money, banks weren't giving loans, you couldn't get money for anything, you couldn't do anything. And we went through kind of like a recession until the 2012 when we started to pick up again. So in the younger side, like as you're going through, are seeing anything? Do you notice anything yet? Or how are you perceiving this entire like movement? Because honestly, like I've never seen personally, there's Uber Eats. I mean, there's so many ways to go make money that I feel like kids are just delivering food to get alcohol and then they're going out to party. So I feel like I don't think they understand the recession they're in because they've been broke. So it's not like, what I mean? They don't have mortgages. It's not like the other days when you were younger, people were buying houses and stuff like that and they were losing their homes. I think today most kids are already at home. So it's like they're not really understanding they're in a recession because they don't have responsibilities. Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, I think with technology now advancing, there's a lot of opportunities to have jobs, like during like times like COVID and recessions where those type of things don't really affect their job. Like in some cases, it's like the recession or the COVID times actually is a great time for them to make money, depending on like if they're content creators or just especially like with COVID, like now Uber Eats, like that's the time where a lot of people don't want to drive as much, especially with gas prices going up. They just want to get delivered, or they're trying to stay home because they're not trying to expose themselves and stuff like that. So in those type of situations, I feel like it's not really a big deal. But I guess it really just all depends on what people are doing with their career-wise, like now. But, I mean, technology now is giving a lot of people the opportunity to work even from home. So.
Right, and that's another thing, and I think, like, especially if you're in crypto, we've noticed that there's a lot of people in the 15 to 25-year-old range that are focusing in on NFTs and crypto and art and flipping things, and kind of like it's kind of like a super side hustle. It's like,
yeah, or I think like it's more like people now more than ever trying to just work smart, not necessarily work the hardest. Like, especially since they're seeing a lot of people making so much money doing, things that don't require as much physical labor. Now it's kind of like, well, I just want to do that. Whatever gets me the money in the most easiest way possible.
Right. So it's really no. It's just get what I need. That's what I'm saying. Like get what I need to survive and call it a day.
Yeah.
All right. Now the weirdest thing is that obviously right now we're not going to see too much of an early side of it. I mean, I always felt like even in 2008 when there was a lot of like money that was gone, I didn't see too much of a slowdown from like regular there was a restaurant called Bennigan's, and it was kind of like it was the bar restaurant, and you would go there on the weekends, and it was because it had a really nice bar and it had food, so people would go in there and pack it out because you can eat and drink. And when I went there and I tried it out, like they gave me chicken wings that were like literally frozen and bloody. So I was just kind of like appalled by it. But there was so many people at that time that were just in there getting drunk, and they had cheap drinks and food, that they were just so packed that they didn't care about, what they had going on in their business. And, I never went back. But the weirdest thing is a year later, kind of like the recession came. And at that time, they were one of the first restaurants to close because the people who had money never went there because they were so terrible. And then the people,
I mean, that could be because like the lack of staffing and the lack of workers.
No, everybody wanted to work. It's just they couldn't. The people stopped eating there. It's the caliber of your clientele.
Yeah.
Like when you serve a lower clientele, they accept everything you do. They don't care. Like you can serve them raw chicken and they're like, "Hey man," and they just recook it for you, right? Where people who have more money are like, why would you serve me raw chicken? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They just hold bigger standards of what they want. That's what's interesting to me about the Dollar Tree, is because people with $100,000 salaries are going there to buy Dollar Tree food.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting thing, because I kind of looked at it and was like, all right, so would I buy a Dollar Tree meal? Now, this is what I'm going to talk about. Here's Riot Fest 2022. Chemical Romance packs them in for the first day in Douglas Park, right? So here's Chemical Romance. Have you ever heard of them?
I heard of them. I know it's kind of like I don't know how to describe it, but I heard of them. I know they're big.
Yeah, and so they came into Chicago. Obviously, Post Malone was here in the middle of the week.
That was nice.
Not to mention Lollapalooza was going on. Now, Lollapalooza, I've seen some of the festival footage on there, and I noticed there weren't a lot of people early, but definitely probably came a bit later. But I thought they were talking about ticket sales were down a little bit.
I mean, they've been down for, a couple of years. Like, I know, like, personally, firsthand, like, a lot of my friends were like, I'm not really going to go 4 days anymore. It's like the lineup hasn't really been...
A week lineup at Lollapalooza.
Week lineups now.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, week lineups, honestly.
So, I remember you mentioning that.
I would say, like, maybe 5-10 years ago, it was like, I'm getting the 4 day, like, I'm like, trying to go. But the lineup hasn't really been good lately. That's why the ticket sales, the headliners, it's like... You're really only excited to see 1 or 2, maybe 3 people that whole entire day. It's like, why even spend the money?
So who was really like headlining Lollapalooza?
Like Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
All right, type us in, get us the lineup for Lollapalooza. I know that right now. I know that you're mentioning that, so like
I wasn't really excited the past couple.
Oh, there was a lineup down below. My bad. Let's see what we got here.
I just put mine up. Oh no, they have the images. They have the images.
All right, so here.
Right there.
Which one are we looking at? So let's take a look at Chicago, right? Is it Chicago, the blue one?
Oh no, that's not right. That's not right. But
so I think that's kind of like I remember you mentioning that when we were kind of like browsing through it.
That's
so
not right. That's not right.
Let's just go into here. Here's what you need to know.
I think you gotta put Chicago because they do different cities.
Go ahead, hit Chicago lineup. So yeah, I mean, maybe you have a good point there. Like,
right there.
Which one? Maybe a good point there. Like maybe things. I mean, because here comes Chemical Romance, which is kind of like an older band, right? Which makes sense because most people are, coming in, and I mean, this is kind of like you got Doja Cat's in there. You
that
got
is not Doja.
Dua Lupe.
Yeah, see, like, and you know what? I think it also has to do with the fact that there wasn't really a lot of rappers. There wasn't really a lot of hip hop, and I feel like in previous years they really had a lot. Like this year especially, there wasn't really a lot. Like I remember the previous year, a couple years ago, they had Travis Scott, and that was really big, and they had a lot, and it was a big deal. They had Chance the Rapper. Like I feel like they're kind of like limiting the rapping people, and I feel like most younger people want to see those people the most.
Oh my gosh.
I think you're onto something there. So I mean, the weirdest thing is, back, so I used to do a lot of PR and a lot of tours, and one of the tours that we were putting in was I was trying to get into, obviously I'm in Chicago, so a big move was when trying to get rap into Michigan State and Michigan, right? Like Ann Arbor and all that, right? And we had Juicy. Was it Juicy J? So Juicy J had...
Juicy J?
Yeah, he just did the song with...
Miley Cyrus?
Yeah, and then the one with your girl from California. What's her name? Looked like old girl the other night, the actress. You're like, that doesn't look like her.
I don't know what you're talking about.
California girl. Katy Perry. So then...
Oh, yeah. Dark Horse.
Yeah, Dark Horse, right? But what was so weird was that Michigan State accepted the concert that we had lined up until we added the rapper. And then they refused to do it because they didn't want rap. And we were excited because we knew it was going to sell out. So what is going on that is in this moment right now that we have where
I don't know.
I can see
maybe they're trying to do like a little rebrand, like
are just our rappers. I mean, here, look at this lineup. This is terrible.
This is terrible.
No, but whoa. You have Metallica, right? Metallica's huge. So did you take all your money and put it in Metallica? Because I was gonna say maybe the rappers are asking too much money. Maybe they're at the point of they're like, yo, you got to pay us. And then some people say rap concerts aren't that great. Like, I went to go see Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne puts on a big show.
He was at Lollapalooza in 2019. But when you have like festivals like Rolling Loud that is based on just like rapping people and they're very successful, people are running to get tickets for them, I would have to argue that. I mean, Rolling Loud delivers every single year. They have all the people there. It just, I mean,
I wonder if, another thing is most people don't know is like, so, part of the game inside of the marketing and the music is you have to like get to where food business is done. What's up, man? What's up, boys? Welcome in. Yo, hit that like button, Let's get those likes up on TikTok. Tick. Appreciate you, bros. Yeah, we're just doing, right now, man, we're just doing open segment, open mic. We're going to cover all the news, kind of go through everything. Because what I want to do is, investing in crypto, obviously we got our charts in the back. Before we start, really putting our money into Bitcoin, really putting our money into Ethereum, really putting our money into all this crypto that's going on, we need to understand, like, what's going to happen with the economy. Like, I'm concerned because we have elections coming. Gas was $6. Now it's $3 because it's, but you guys have to remember, like, the last time we had a election year, the economy was phenomenal, but nobody put money in crypto. And now that we have an election year and this economy is trash, I'm trying to figure out, is the economy really that bad? Because they're not really counting the people who are making money on Uber, people who are making money on tips, people who are hustling with NFTs. And I mean, I see there's a lot of money being circulated out there, but my whole thing is like, how deep does this recession go? I mean, I think we got 6 months to go and we're not even out of war yet. We got all types of things going on. So, kind of seeing where people spend their money it will let you know ahead of time what you can invest in. So here, I mean, Lollapalooza, I didn't think went that well in Chicago. But I mean, they only had Metallica. Who's that? Dua Lipa, J. Cole. But I've never, J. Cole. I like J. Cole, but I don't. He's not.
He's
I don't.
big.
Yeah, he's big, but does his concert sell out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Green Day's huge. Doja Cat, Machine Gun Kelly. Little Baby was hot at the time. I mean,
he's hot now. He's in his prime.
Yeah. So I mean, that's not a bad list.
But see, I'm not getting 4 days with this. Personally, if I were to go, I would get maybe a 1 day, but I'm not doing 4 days. It's just not worth the money.
Yeah, because that kind of like, I'm trying to read all the little names, and I'm like Billy Strings, Big Sean's in there, but Big Sean has classics. I think that kind of goes with the classics if you're gonna run J. Cole. I'm not seeing anything super special here.
Man, they have YG.
So pull up and Google and see how they did this year. Let's estimate like how. Let's pull up something like,
Sales.
Chicago 2022.
Well, I want to do like for years, like comparison. I need to do ticket sales.
Ticket sales.
I'm pretty sure I read an article about it. Ticket sales.
So I mean, I think it should have been really easy to sell out tickets.
Not with the lineup.
Yeah, but even with that, I think it's kind of like, I think they were kind of betting on the lineup. It didn't really matter because people haven't been somewhere, that you were just happy to get out. I mean, it's Lollapalooza.
But I mean, even the previous years, it was also kind of underwhelming. I think. I mean, if you have a couple bad years, it's kind of like, I'm not really. We'll have to see. Reddit. Yeah, like I remember like when Lollapalooza would sell out like that day, like you had to like, especially like when I was in high school, it was like we would be in school and like everybody would be on their phone trying to get tickets. Like it was like serious. And like I feel like with the recent years, like you don't have to wait until right when they open. Like they still had tickets available weeks after. Like it wasn't that big of a deal.
That's messed up. Get rid of that little X on the side. So, let's see here.
I mean, but also there has been a lot of new festivals like being introduced now.
I was gonna say a lot of times when you run like concerts and stuff, there are moments where like if you have like a booking agents, like most people don't know this, but a lot of times when you're in a group or an artist, you sign a contract with a booking agent, and then you don't do your own things. You go through the booking agent, and then you send everyone who tries to book you to the booking agent. And if the booking agent doesn't like somebody, he doesn't book that concert. So they might be, basically muscling out certain events or saying, Lala's not paying enough. We're not coming back until you pay us or you accept all our people, right? I just feel like, I don't think they were worried about it because, so many people haven't been out in time. It hasn't moved. So let's take a look at Lollapalooza. But I didn't really hear anything too crazy. 4-day pass, $340 for Lala.
Yeah, last year, when did this come out? 2019? Okay. That's the last time I went. It took 8 days for the fest to sell out. But weekend passes sold out in less than 2.5 hours in 2017. And within an hour in 2016. So, I mean, that's a drastic, 8 days.
In 2014 and 15, Lollapalooza sold all of its weekend passes even before the lineups were announced.
Yeah. Now it's like nobody's buying the pass until we see the lineup because you guys were very underwhelming the previous years. Yeah.
The Coachella Fest in California remains a brisk seller. Sold out both of its 3-day weekends, 6 hours. I gotta say, like the Coachella.
But Coachella just has that different vibe. Like it's in California. A lot of influencers go to Coachella. You really are going for the.
That's what I'm saying. Like Burning Man, Coachella. You're going for the trip.
Or what's that one in Michigan where you can camp out? It's really the experience.
Jazz and Adam went to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they actually, what they say, it was pretty.
It's something rainforest. I don't know.
Oh yeah. The Electric Forest.
Yeah, that one I would go because you.
I think so. Most people are taking the trip. So is it Chicago's just not becoming? It's just Lollapalooza. You're just out in a big open field. They don't have the attractions. There's nothing special about being in a Chicago field. They're not creative.
Not creative.
It's hard to keep up with the desert. Yeah. Burning Man, California.
We're in Chicago.
Electric Forest. The one thing about Michigan is you have the ability to go to the burning forest. I could see where it's like. We were watching a little bit of the breakdown of Lollapalooza. And it's literally wide open and you're just dying in the sun.
Yeah, it's hot.
I wonder, there's just too many festivals.
It's too many festivals for you to settle and buy tickets for it, personally.
Now, that takes me back to the point, maybe there's a lot more festivals, but maybe we're not thinking that maybe the people didn't have the money to cover the multiple festivals, so they chose a festival.
Yeah.
Instead of doing Lollapalooza, I'm going to Electric Forest.
Yeah, or I'm going to Rolling Loud. You can see all my rappers.
Yeah, Rolling Loud. Yeah, I think that's a huge part of it, man. Let's go to the news here. Let's see what we got as far as like, what are they talking crypto out there? Is there anything special? Chemical Romance killed it, so that's just you can log out of those and then just click a new one and shut those tabs.
It's running a bit slow. Okay.
So here we're okay. Look. What did I just say? Okay, back that up. Queen Elizabeth II is dead, but will. Okay, what is this? Queen Elizabeth. Let's go back up the top. Queen Elizabeth is dead, but will live on as cryptocurrency. You see? So here you go. Like, so they found. Okay, so basically, meme coins, jump really quick. So here's a bunch of meme coins. They found it when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, creating a Will Smith digital currency. And again, with Netflix show Squid Games, gained global fame, minting the squid. This is what's weird to me is like, so now Queen Elizabeth, it's her turn. The day following the Queen's passing, more than 40 types of meme coins were minted, industry data and media reports. So they've made 40 new coins that are literally have no value. They're worth nothing. And the entire game is to buy them cheap and hope that you bought the one that has the most advertising. And then as soon as you double or triple your money, sell everything you have. Right? That's kind of like a meme coin. Do you know what a meme coin is?
Like Dogecoin?
Yeah. Now Dogecoin is, is a meme coin. It's like the king of memes because the ideal of it was to be a joke where most cryptocurrencies go up in value because coins are, what they call scarce. Like there's only so many coins, and then they start burning the coins, which is getting rid of the coins to make them more valuable. Like, less of them make them more scarce. Where Dogecoin is one of the only cryptos, like literally that the joke of it was that it would keep minting forever. So every time it went up in value, it would just keep minting, bringing its own price down. So it's the king of memes because it's, even with all that against it, it's literally one of the biggest coins out there. Now, here's what I don't understand is that everyone knows that these coins are worthless. Like, the only thing meme coins are worth are to buy it cheap and sell it high and then call it a day. So let's see here. In a few days passing, So here's the Queen Elizabeth Unu coin. Oh, that's pretty cool. Which probably honors the death and is... Let's see here. Now you have to understand, like, this is, it honors the death and was built available various cryptocurrency platforms. The coin is currently priced at 0.00003, and after nearly 30,000% surge and drop from where it started. So, like, long live the Queen coin, STEM coin. All right, so here, pull up a new tab and go to what's called Coin Market Cap. Yeah, pull that up. Let's look at the Queen. And go to, let's see here. So get rid of that. Go to the little side there, yep. And let's look and type in Queen. All right, so there we go. Queen Sheba, Queen Doge, Queen Tiger. All right, Queen Sheep. What was it? Queen Elizabeth Sheep Inu. All right, so go back, hit the back button. Let's go to Coin Market Cap, and we're gonna go to the trending, like Coin Market Cap. Go over to the right. Click on that. We're gonna look for the coin. So delete that, what you have there. All right, let's go to. You need to pull up like the categories are up top. Go to the top. Alright, so cryptocurrencies, categories, like trending, stuff like that. Let's see here.
Look at what it's called.
Yeah, but there's a bunch of them, so I just want to see the trending ones. Let me see.
I don't see a trending.
So you go up to the top here. These are the categories, right? So when you click on here, right? So there's gainers, there's stuff like that. So there should be a biggest gainers. Let's see here. Let's take a look here. Here. Recently added. There we go.
Shih Tzu.
Alright, so let's see here. Shih Tzu Tizo Unu, Diamond Lounge, Point Prime. So this is where, here you go. Here's a coin that comes in. 24 hours up 47%, 37%, down 45. Where's the shaders? Minnesota. Nitro Shiba. I just don't know, like, the only, I don't understand the people that buy these and like hold on to them. Gainers and losers. Let's take a look here. Trending. So like, here's Moonbeam. Moonbeam's a great coin. That's down 30 days, 18%. I mean, that's 7 days, 10%. I mean, I feel like that's something you can, 50 cents a coin. You can definitely put a little bit in there. Terra Classic. It's up 237% in 30 days. Down 30% in 7 days, 4% in 24 hours. Now the Terra Luna Classic, that's where they're going after that dude, Do Kwon, who's the guy who created the coin and then kind of was taking out millions of dollars. And then when it crashed, they basically realized that he had taken out a billion out of the coin.
So this is like a retaliation.
No. What they're doing is they have I think it's South Korea or whatever has a arrest warrant for him. Because they're basically, if he wouldn't have removed all that money, it would still be in this project, and he didn't return or support the project and put any of that money back to help this actually regain it where it came from. So they're kind of like, So I think that's kind of where now normally that being an arrest warrant on something like that, you would say that might go down, but I think people are thinking like, if they're going after him for the money, that means that's going to be a secure project and a little bit tighter where they can bring it in and say to themselves that maybe that, with cleaning up the project will bring it money. All right. Now, see, Smooth Love Potion is part of the Axis Infinity game, which is a game where you play as little characters, and then this kind of lets me know, like, if the kids are spending money, right? Are the kids getting their parents to give them money to play video games, right? So, that's not good. 30 days down. Here's another video game, Decentraland. That's where you do VR stuff. That's down 16%. What's the most visited? Cult Dow. Terra Classic. There's your Doge.
Mm-hmm.
That's down 15%. Now, the weird thing about Doge, like I said, to me, it's always impressive because Doge keeps printing coins, which makes its value less. Like, if every other crypto had that same problem, they would be terrible. So the fact that Doge continues to kind of like hold its own is kind of like so interesting because it's like the only one dealing with constant mining. Yeah. Like, it just keeps making coins. There's no end to the shit. Solana is very interesting because this is kind of like comes down to the new future of NFTs, and Ethereum Classic here is starting to should have a move coming up here, but XRP is up 2%. Shiba Inu is down 20 across the board. And this is ETH, right? So ETH just did that big merge. Everyone staked their coins, but they did give away a lot of coins that people were like selling out of. Type in PooCoin. P-O-O. PooCoin.app. There we go. Let's see if there's anything moving out here. All right, what do we have? PooCoin. Let's see if there's anything like trending. I haven't seen anything about Queen Elizabeth coins actually, so it was kind of weird because I know even though that was a little bit of a moment.
About it.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything like too crazy on there. I'm gonna have to put this on a lock this in for you. Type in Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, hold on. Here's Queen Elizabeth token. Alright, so now let's do a little research here. And what's cool about being on like crypto is that you can kind of like see who's you know inside the project, how many people have it or whatever, right? So like first thing you do here is you click on holders, right? That's gonna take you to another website where it's called BSE Scan. So right now, you had no holders, 46 people, right? And the contract is basically kind of like the bank account of the crypto side of it. Let's copy that. Now you want to put in a thing called token sniffer. This is definitely a hit enter. Thank you. Yeah, there's no results on there. Alright, newest tokens. Doge Play. Why is Doge Play back again? 5 hours ago. Wall Street Doge. I feel like they've already just renamed these. Black Shiba. Alright, so we're not getting anything special on these queen coins. This one is going here. It has 11 BNB in it. 24,000. So this is a new coin here. Really nothing crazy. The crypto world. And it's kind of like, you know, this entire thing is like, you know, what we're seeing here is nothing too special here. What is that? Non-binary cast member? I mean, this is kind of like, you know, an cosmic and phantom UFOs all over Ukraine skies. Images showing intriguing perseverance, discovery on Mars. I'm reading all these. There's nothing like
Really going on.
there's really what's going on out there, man? Step inside the Trump's tower.
Got a lot.
Margot. Oh, you know what? This is kind of what's been going. I mean, I'm kind of interested in this because like Margaret Robbie, right? And I think
She was in Only Murderers in the Building. That girl on the left.
when.
That girl. That plays Selena Gomez's love interest.
Oh, you talking about Cara Delevingne?
Yes.
Right. Because they feel like she needs to go to rehab.
Yeah, there was like some.
They's like, girl, you better.
There was some videos of her just.
They
acting.
said, yo, my friend, you've been smoking. You know, but see, what I'm talking about is Margot Robbie, right? There's a new movie that just came out. I think it's her and, let's see if you can pull it up real quick. It's supposed to be huge. I thought I saw it with, what was that? Everybody was talking about it, getting into it. What it was is, I want to say,
The Barbie movie?
no. What's his name? Texas dude. McCallie?
Matthew McConaughey?
Yes. Does she have a movie with him? Something just came out. Everybody was talking about it. Should be good. But I mean, other than that, so yeah. So your girl, Cara Delevingne, Cara. Obviously, she needs to go to rehab. They're worried about her. I mean, she looked like she needed rehab on Only Murderers.
Why?
I don't know. I just looked in her eye and I was like,
That's kind of.
what?
I mean, did you see the video?
Of what?
Of her having like erratic behavior, or are you just going off?
You can see it in her eye.
Okay. That's
You couldn't tell? You couldn't tell watching the she was on like a couple episodes. You couldn't tell she was head that way.
Well, I wouldn't make that judgment off the bat just like that.
Sometimes you could just tell. Here, top 3 most popular crypto on money over the last 6 months: Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB. So BNB is getting a lot of. I mean, I don't know how you can go wrong. Cardano, XRP. I can't believe it. XRP has performed 57% over the last year and 7% over the last month, compared to the S&P 45% last year and 2%. So man, we are getting some recognition here in crypto. That's big news right there. So that's what I want to see. I want to see some type of like. I think there's big movements, but man, I'm just so concerned of the economy. I'm just so worried about like where you know. Who's going to be investing is what I'm thinking about right here. Oh yeah, right here. So Virginia police searched 2 men who held up elderly. Searched for 2 men who held up elderly at their residence. You know what's kind of interesting is like, I mean, there's no news out here. I mean,
no news. Like, we're really stretching right now.
Music for YouTube videos, professionals, who will make the Celtics roster. I mean, considering that this week or what's today? Saturday. This is week 2 of the NFL. I feel like the last week has been dominated by NBA.
I don't know. I think just because we don't watch football. I don't know.
I mean, every time I turn around, it's who's being traded, where's this guy going, who's going to the Lakers. I mean, shit, I'm not really like, I'm not concerned about any of it, but I haven't.
Well, like, of course it's going to be in the news now when they're starting back up. Like, it's always.
Yeah, but where's the,
I'm sure when the draft was, going on before, that was all in the headlines. Like, I just.
I just feel like it's a lot of work on the NBA. I'm not seeing anything here that would.
I like really. There's nothing going on. Like seriously.
I mean, they're just getting terrible at writing. No wonder they made so much stuff up about people. It's like, cause like when they have to
There's
report
nothing
normal
going
stuff,
on.
there's
You
nothing
just gotta
exciting.
stretch it out. Like we're trying your best. Like we gotta put something out. Like
What? These people are. There's some people out here
there's
got
no
problems.
news. No news.
Top 10 streaming promotions.
Like, see, we don't need a
Celebrities you didn't know are handy.
like. It's we need to give it a rest. I feel.
Like, I mean, when you is that something like I guess a lot of people aren't handy, but so is it like is it important that they
I
are?
don't question. I don't wonder. It's
Whoa, 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 whoa! All right, you know here today in crypto, 5 falling cryptos. Here you go, Cara Delevingne's friends desperately trying to get her into rehab. Biden. Now, this is another thing. Biden orders investigation into why the FBI was not involved with the sheriff's raid on Metro office. I just feel like, you know, not saying anything. The woman who stabbed the niece of Michael Jackson gets 40 years in prison. I didn't even know that happened. Denver is set to provide 140 homeless people with $12,000 cash with no strings attached. I mean, that's an interesting concept. I'm glad they're doing it, but I mean, I'm thinking like, is there no way? There's, I mean, you're talking about $200,000. Was there's nothing that they could have done for more people than 140? That's an interesting thing. Well, you know, but let's see what happens. Tesla aims to cut wildfire smoke exposure for Nevada gigafactory workers. Yeah, I'm just feeling like
see that's football for you.
yeah. But I mean, look how long it took. Like all this stuff
Yeah.
worthless. There's nothing going on here, but yet football's at the bottom. I just don't see too much going on here. The news is over, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can start wrapping it up.
Yeah, you know, we need to find something. Focus on one really good thing here. ApeCoin DAO to release 150 million worth of tokens to contributors. I mean, that coin is constantly paying the people that made all the marketing. It's an ingenious move. Yeah, I feel like we'll come back in and dig a little deeper, you know, focus on some things that will make a little more, you know, action here. Get something to eat.
Yeah.
Hungry?